Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this file, and they actually only want these black lines down. This looks like looking downtown buildings or something if you did it in different colors. And he sent me the example about how he drew it. So I'm just going to draw one completely from scratch. So what we need to do is take any size square. We're going to make it 2 inches. And then I'm going to set my nudge factor on 2 inches. Well, I could actually set it on 4, but I'm still going to move it over twice. And then I'm going to hit the plus key and I'm going to move those over twice. So I have the 4 buildings, if you say, and then take a 2-point line and go from that node to that node, and that node to that node, and then select these 2 lines and Control D and make a duplicate and rotate them 45 degrees. That's going to get us this angle for these buildings. And you really only have to do one of them. You could do all 4, but since if we started in the center of the page, which we didn't, we could still do it now because it's a centerable object. Control G to group it and hit P. Now I could have very easily, and you could do it both ways, but you could also rotate it. It'd almost be easier just to finish it from here. So you're getting this kind of this look that these buildings are, and I think that's one disadvantage of doing it my way. I'm a little bit off on that first one. So if I only had one and I knew it was perfect, that is the center of the building, center of the page. Control D to duplicate. You know what I need to do? I need to group it together first, probably. So let's go Control G, Control D, alternate C, and you can see it's on the rotation, and rotate it 90 degrees. And then Control D, Control D. That way, if your first building was correct, all the rest of them will be in line. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to group this together, Control G, and I am going to use different colors that he did. I'm going to use a black or semi-black on the tops. And then I'm going to grab a lighter gray. And this is another point. I only need to do one of these. You know what? Let's do that. Let's remove these. Whoop. Remember, I grouped that together. Let's just remove that. And we could take our interactive fill tool and come from the top to the bottom and add a little darkness. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Well, why didn't that work? A lot of times you really need to click your one you're going to work on, because a lot of times, even though it's over there, it'll look like, and that's not bad. Now, remember, I have those other ones grouped, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go Control G, Control D, and alternate C, and just rotate it 90 degrees. And at this time, I can actually move this out of the way. Control D, 180 degrees, Control D. Now, well, you know what? Maybe I should have used this color so you could actually see. But if we take this now and give it a black line, he only wants the lines, from what I understand, these 2 lines here that where the buildings meet. So what you can do is, let's see, 6 inches, we need to set our nudge factor on like 7. Let's make a duplicate of this and move it over. This is the way I do it, or would do it. Left click, right click. Now I am going to take all those lines except for these lines, the lines that he wants to stay. And I'm just not touching those lines. Now on this one, I'm going to take the lines away by right clicking. And now, because we've nudged, we can nudge it back. It's not going to show up as much with the colors that I picked. with the exception that we could make this a thicker line. That's probably too thick for the idea. I kind of like it with, especially in this color. I kind of like it with all the lines. It really kind of makes it stand out. Well, you could do a lot with this, as far as so we're at 6 inches. If you change your nudge factor to 6, you could actually make a wall of art out of this, and it would look pretty cool. Let me just delete that. And what I did, I just hit, I'm still on 6 inches, even though I did 2 of them. Maybe not as neat as I thought it was going to be, but it's still pretty neat. Let's, you know what, let's add one more. Kind of make it a square. Control G to group. Now let's hit P, put it in the center of the page. Let's just look at it. I'm going to take, in holding down the Shift key, I'm going to double click on the rectangle tool. There we go. I'm actually going to move it out of the way for a second. Turn it 100% black. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and go object order before I move it back over there. Now I'm going to move it back. Total different look. You know what? And now it makes the parts kind of stick out a little bit more. I like his colors, and I like the idea of the cross. Now, one thing I could see that I didn't do that he did is I didn't rotate my, I'm still going to call them a building. I group these together, object, group, and ungroup, grab just the one, make a copy of it, move it up, and then rotate it 45 degrees, and you get that total different look. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit. Thank you for watching.